we are live from Barcelona at Casa Bonay and have this wonderful, gorgeous, smiling lady next to me. It's Eva. She is event and sustainability manager at Casa Bonay, a very, very nice hidden gem location in the city center from Barcelona. And before we start and hear a little bit more about you, about this concept and general, what you think about MICE TRANSPIRE, I like to tell the audience a little bit more about what Casa Bonay is all about, because it's not a typical classic hotel. Nothing is classic here. And Casa Bonay opened in 2016 by Ines Miro Sons. And you told me that the hotel is inspired by an affinity for the humble to create a space that enriches, inspires, and blurs the boundaries between home and hotel. I like this very much. And Casa Bonay has thrived by prioritizing collaboration with local creatives, chefs, gardeners, industrial designers, and artists. So a lot of people are involved.
Indeed, very talented people indeed.
And we believe that this collaborative approach brings more fun to day to day and has helped to cultivate an authentic concept that offers a strong sense of community and a relaxed atmosphere that makes traveler and locals feel right at home. Very interesting in general. You have in total 67 rooms and some outlets, restaurants, bars, coffee shop.
Correct. And
what I like very much, the bodega, because the German in general love tapas and all the Spanish food. Good wine. And I like very much that you call bodega, it's a restaurant and temple of natural wine.
Indeed.
And the Libertine Cocktail Bar, which is the heart of the hotel, I would say. We speak about it a little bit more later. And then you have a rooftop for barbecue, cocktails, a terrace, a kind of urban garden, and a specialty coffee with homemade Japanese, French-inspired pastries, a store, Tokyo bikes, yoga class. So much to offer, and the property is not big. But now, at first, Eva, my question to you, because I ask everyone the same, and this is the most interesting one. What do you think about transformation and inspiration in the MICE industry?
I think the MICE industry has been going on for a long time. It's a very big part of the tourism sector. And I think it's always about finding ways of making it fresh or making connections differently or finding ways to make us connect, because that's what it's all about. It's about chemistry, about networking, of course, besides the service. But it's about that. It's finding ways and locations, such for what me is Casa Bonay, that can offer something different for this sector that's been going on for so long, or for this type of activity that's been going on for a very long time.
Great. And tell us briefly about yourself, because I like the combination in your title with event manager and sustainability manager. Right. And we will speak a little bit more about this as well. But what excites you most about the Casa Bonay concept, or why do you work for this company?
So I actually am, in terms of events, very much into the commercial part. So not much the operational side of events, but more sales, including rooms, groups, corporates. Like you said, in Casa Bonay, it's small, but there's a lot to offer. And I actually come from a different sector. I never studied tourism. I didn't work in tourism. And I came to Barcelona to study sustainability. And I decided to start hotels because of Casa Bonay. So I came to Casa Bonay, like we say, it's a place for the locals. So I came with some friends to grab cocktails in Libertine, listen to some of the DJs we have at night, and I fell in love with the space. So I said, I worked in aviation, so it's close to tourism, but it's a bit different. And I said to know more about the sector, so to add the part of hotel, I said, why not start with Casa Bonay? So it's more about me choosing the hotel rather than the sector itself.
Very interesting. I think this will be take place in future more and more, that you identify with this place, have an absolute different background, very interesting that you decided for this industry, and also that they hear you and that you combine your passion or the way you wanted to go at first with sustainability and also becoming an event manager in this lovely place.
Yeah.
Great.
Correct.
And as event manager here in this property, what would you say, who is your ideal incentives and meetings client, MICE client? We just use this word in general, but I think this place is more than MICE, or we have new words we need to add in the future, like the seal for convention. And nowadays, I think, for example, the C could be co-working as well. So
it is completely. So my position itself, it's more commercial manager than events itself, but I do all the events part and the incentives. Our ideal public, we can go from 20 rooms, or even less, of course, smaller meetings and company meetings, but we can go ideally from 20 to up to a buyout, which would be our 67 rooms and some of the event spaces that we can do outside of the high season mainly. So when leisure is low, this is when we have ideally the possibility to do buyouts. But I think year-round, the ideal group is about 20 to 30 people. They're the ones we can accommodate the most in the spaces that we have as well. We're currently in Nika, which is our meeting space. It's not your traditional meeting space, so it's also about that. It's actually finding a group that not only the size, but likes the type of product that we have. They're not your current meeting spaces. We don't have the traditional hotel services, so we blur, like we mentioned, the lines between being at home but having the comfort of a hotel versus actually feeling like you're in a hotel. So that's basically what we work for day in and day out with top service.
Interesting. Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking about, I don't think it's exactly like an Airbnb or something like this, but an Airbnb is also something you can feel home because it's like a home place. And I think Casa Bonay has a special touch and special sparkle in this way as well.
See, of course, yeah, definitely. When I do a lot of the site inspections, I get a lot of people that are from Barcelona who tell me this looks like my apartment in some of the rooms, our larger rooms, looks like their apartment in Barcelona. One of the key things about, I think, in my opinion, that besides the service and the art and the designers being local as well, it's a co-creation, which is part of sustainability. It's that the building is from the 1800s and it was never demolished. So we built the hotel around the original house rather than a hotel that looks like a house. So we kept the floors, we kept the doors. Well, I say we, but I wasn't here, but I feel it in my soul. We kept a lot of the original essence of the house, which is what really makes it feel like you're in Barcelona.
Absolutely. And I felt the same when I stayed here.
Yeah, you're staying with us, of course.
Absolutely. In the room, it has always this, Barcelona feeling. You have this feeling you're in the city. Yeah. And a lot of times when you check in a classic hotel, you travel to amazing places and everyone at home is very jealous. And then a traveler or the business traveler says, it's amazing to travel to Barcelona, but I have not seen a lot about Barcelona.
100%, because also one of the good things about this hotel for incentives is the location. So we can do, the organizers can go out in the city and go to Sagrada, they can go to the Born, they can be in Passeig, everything within 15 minutes. So by foot. So it's really amazing. And that's it. Sometimes when they come for these conferences that are a bit in the outskirts of Barcelona, they don't get the chance to visit the city. And now there's a big trend in the sector that is called Bleisure, which is business and leisure. And it's that I do it myself when I travel. If I travel to a new city, I take the time to take 1 or 2 days before or after, usually before, because after I am exhausted, but before, to discover the place and act as a local and know the locals and really. So I think it's really a product that you have to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and this is even more sustainable as well if you extend your stay and enjoy the time and not coming over just for 1 or 2 nights and 4 nights at the end. Let's speak about the second pillar with sustainability, because I think it's very interesting, because in general we know some other destinations are pioneers about this topic when we speak about sustainability, like the Nordics, or even I think Germany is coming closer as well.
You guys are doing amazing.
Yeah,
doing amazing.
That's very funny, because I heard a lot of times that the Germans are doing amazing, but we have not this.
See, the thing is what you compare it to, because I come from the Dominican Republic. We're a developing country, so in some things we're very sustainable in the fact that we are very we lack development, so we're still rural and we still have this local touch. But when you come here even, or when you come to Germany or Scandinavia, you are blown away by what you guys are already doing, you know. So I think if you go to Dominican Republic and then you go back home, you will probably say that Germany is sustainable.
Absolutely. And but especially here for Casa Bonay, what do you offer to the guests to make their stay very in a sustainable way? I don't want to say it's the most sustainable stay, because traveling, it's always finding the balance.
See, correct. So this year we launched our commitment for 2023. It's the first time we took out our own plan. We are Biosphere certified, so that's a certification that we can get because Barcelona is certified as Biosphere, and you just have to go through the certification. So that's what I also manage myself. We basically have to wait to get the approval, but I think we're going to be okay for 1 more year. And then in the process of, or before choosing to go for another certification, what we decided was to try to first really get the inside of the sustainability of the hotel up and running. So first, Casa Bonay, when I arrived, already did a lot of things with sustainability, but I think they weren't aware that it was, and they didn't know how to communicate, because that's a very difficult part of sustainability. What do you say without receiving backlash, without saying the wrong terms? So that part is very, very important. And we decided to focus our commitment into 4 pillars, which is climate action. So we're measuring our carbon footprint for 2 years in a row. We're setting goals for reduction, so trying to use renewable energy and even circular economy by maybe implementing our own energy inside, with the long-term aim of neutralizing and eventually going into regeneration and going positive, which of course is the dream for an urban. And also there's a restraint of being, of course, in an urban city in a very old historic building that keeps it challenging, of course. Then we also work with the community. That's the second pillar. So being a platform for local artists, we do a lot of activities, talks for LGBTQI plus community, females. We also give back. So we work with Arrels. It's a foundation that works with the people of the streets of Barcelona. It's a beautiful foundation. So all the wasted food that we have from events, we donate to them. We do bingos, raise funding for them. All the materials that are left over, the sheets, the covers that we cannot use but are still in good condition, we donate. So we consider them part of the family of Bonay. You can also donate when you book a room to the foundation. And then we also work with the employees, also very important. That's our third pillar. So employee satisfaction, trainings, benefits. So making sure that the employee is also involved in terms of inclusivity. We're lucky to have many women in management. Our director and CEO is a woman. And then another and last pillar is the guests. So digitalizing the process. We're starting to recycle in the rooms. I don't know if you saw your bin. This is a new acquisition in Casa Bonay. Informing them about the local situation, so water restraints, all these types of initiatives. So it's about all of that so that we can really measure, reduce, and eventually neutralize or regenerate, basically.
Okay, yes. All right. And for this one, like you said, with sustainability in general, the for... Let me think about it quickly.
For sustainability.
For sustainability.
Maybe in the incentive side?
Yes, for events, correct. Yeah. That's why we are here. Yeah. And when you involve the locals, because like you mentioned, I've seen it on Instagram that you're doing this bingo nights. I like very much. Very fun. It's a lot of fun. It's coming back. It's a trend from the past. And this is something I think you can offer for groups and corporates as well. And do you offer or recommend some activities if they want to do as an incentive together with locals?
Yes. I get inspired by sustainability and I derail from incentives, but we of course we include it in events, and it's actually a very difficult part for me personally because it's a bit out of your hands, right? So our incentive guide includes, for example, with arrels, you can do a tour of the city from somebody who used to live on the street and now is part of the foundation to understand what the experience of being on the streets of Barcelona is. So we do offer that. We also offer activities of wellness. We have an in-house nutritionist, a yoga teacher. So if you want to add breath works, yoga classes and all of that in the meetings, sometimes we do it as a gesture, but if you want something concrete, you can hire it. And then an important part is the suppliers with who you work with. So when we have a group that asks us to organize an event, we really try to use suppliers that are conscious. So the decoration, the food that we use, the flexibility in the menus, the recommendations around town. We try to recommend local restaurants. So it's all about really bringing to the city a positive impacted tourism activity while you're here, and try to be a good local when you're visiting.
And this is definitely on demand and coming more and more to feeling the culture when you travel, and be open-minded for something new.
And I think when we travel, we forget all the correct ways of acting. You forget to recycle. You forget to take short showers. You forget to. There's this comfort that you say, well, I'm traveling, my shower is going to last. I've been there and I've done it, but it's about really educating and working with them, because in the end you do whatever you like during your stay. We want them to be as happy as possible, but motivating them to do it consciously.
And you mentioned the last pillar, employee involvement, very interesting. And just when I arrived yesterday, you told me that you did a workshop together with your team, and I want to ask you now, what do you did to get positive stress?
So one of the things we added this year, part of the employee involvement and satisfaction, is that for all the managers of the hotel, we started an anti-stress. It has been many times throughout the year. We do these meetings, and it's about with the team, because I think anybody who comes from the sector, if you're a boutique and independent, it's really about being operational, creative, and quick. There's a book, and they mention it as being restaurant smart versus corporate smart. So everybody has a lot to do, and we're all trying to coordinate, and we have a lot of work. So it's about how together we can use the stress to have it in a positive way and make our work more efficient and assertive. Getting to know each other. What is your strengths, your weaknesses? What are things that make you stressed or not? And it's a beautiful activity that we do. And it really helps us to, and they give us breathing exercises, and they give us tricks about what to do when you're in a situation of a lot of stress, so it depends. You have somebody who is more easily stressed than another one, but the other one probably just has it inside, and you don't know. So that was a little bit what it's about. It's like a team building, but for us.
Very interesting, but you should add this team building to maybe some corporates who come, because I like just the combination of these words with positive stress, because sometimes we need this positive stress.
And it's a good thing. There is a positive stress. It's like when they say the ego is bad. It's being selfish is not bad as long as it's a conscious selfishness. It's the same, these types of terms that are coming out now that the younger generation is very aware of. it's about us learning also how to navigate them. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I heard that you have expansion plans.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about these projects.
So Casa Bonay, like you said, is from 2016. Keep in mind, 2 years of these were during COVID, so we were closed. So it's a relatively young product. And now we are starting to expand. We have a product that is part of the family. It's not the same concept because it's from the brother of Inés, the owner. This one is going to be in Palma de Mallorca. It's going to be 14 rooms. The name is Portella Palma. And it's much more high-end, so it's a different type of product, but we can do incentives in terms of buyouts. So those who want to rent the whole hotel with 14 rooms and enjoy the city, which is becoming very requested, is amazing. And then we have 2 other projects in the pipeline, one in La Costa Brava. This one is the same brand as Casa Bonay, just a 5-star. Beachfront, beautiful, great for incentives. We're going to need incentives because it's a seasonal destination, but we're going to be open year-round. This is part of transpiring, I guess. We're going to offer incentives in a destination that doesn't necessarily do incentives. So it's about accommodating the guests so we can have incentives. So meeting rooms, making it a winter destination as well. So that's going to be fun. And then we have a last one that is a small one. This one is going to be different. It's going to be in Cadaques and it's going to be 12 rooms. So we have 3 properties in the pipeline.
Wow, sounds great.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yes.
A lot of development and 100% the right timing.
See, it's the right timing. I think Inés has been working very hard for that. The whole team has been working very hard. I think those who know us from before COVID and see us now, I think they can tell that it's been a team effort. So we cannot do it without all of us. So it's a very nice environment to be in right now.
Yeah. We're very excited to hear more when the press release are coming out, etc.
Yes, little by
so
little.
we will definitely publish this one.
Amazing.
And and every year, because now it's November, we're in Barcelona and all the lights are on outside. It's a little bit this Christmas feeling. It's always very special in Barcelona.
We're in a red room.
We're in a red room. And and it's the specific time when one of the biggest world trade fairs are in Barcelona, the IBTM, and we always organize, or not always, but the second time in a row together, a hosted buyer dinner at Libertine.
Yeah.
And we had it yesterday. It was just amazing again. We had a lot of fun. We closed the bar at midnight.
Literally. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this cooperation always needs to be a win-win for both sides. Yeah. And I'm very happy with the locations and the buyers are as well. But tell the audience or me a little bit more why you think, we're doing this together. Why do you think it's a match?
Well, the German market is not our main market. However, we do think it's a great market. And I unfortunately do not speak German. It's not one of the languages that I speak. So it's a market where we do want your help in to start getting those contacts. And in the end, it's a benefit to have everybody in the city, like you say, for IBTM. It happens once a year. We meet all our friends from the industry. So for us, it's great to have them in the city. And for the rest, I remember yesterday at one point of the night, I was seeing everybody talking, having drinks and eating the food and having a good time. I wasn't understanding anything that people were saying at that point, but I was so happy. And they were telling me, sorry, we're not speaking English. And I said, honestly, I think for us who work in service, to see people having a good time and discussing, and I think they would remember more the experience that they had in Libertine, which is such an amazing space, than the conversation that probably she and I had or he and I had in that moment. So for me, it was beautiful to see everybody having a good time, eating marvelous food, having good cocktails. I told you the Palomas were good.
Great. So you think we brought the right clients?
Yeah, I think we definitely brought them. It was a very beautiful crowd. It was and it felt easy.
Like we know each other a long time.
It felt like everybody knew each other from a long time. It was a great way to start having some contacts for me as well, which I'm a bit new in the sector. Now I can go to Germany, give a call, and you know.
And you're saying you have Paloma with you.
Yeah, then if I do that, I'm going to have them line up, I think, definitely.
Because we just heard about it's a new espresso martini.
We changed the espresso martini for the Paloma. We'll see next year what we can come up with.
Yeah, will be interesting for sure. Great. Thank you very much, Eva. At the end, do you have something you'd like to share with the audience, with the people who listen now? Just a message?
No, I just want to say that Casa Bonay is a beautiful product that we have in Barcelona. I think it's a product that you have to come see and feel. So if anybody is find themselves around the city and would like to see it, I'm always here to assist. And thank you for enjoying the product so much. I know you like it. I know you enjoy it, and that for me again is a proof that the work that we do makes sense, and we're happy to keep working together and being here. Thank you for the space.
Thank you very much, Eva. And we enjoy a little bit the sun now, the November sun in Barcelona.
Yes, thank God. 100%.